Modern digital forensic tools possess the raw technical power to rapidly extract immense amounts of data from nearly any target device. During a routine examination, a forensic investigator gains access to private emails and deleted messages, confidential institutional files, personal health records, and financial transactions. This creates the discipline's central tension. Investigators face a gap between what they can extract technically and what they should extract ethically. Technical ability alone is insufficient. Deploying tools without rigid restraint corrupts the process, exposing confidential information and damaging institutional credibility. True forensic competence requires integrating technical skills into a strict, predefined ethical architecture. To maintain that architecture, the profession relies on a 5-pillar framework. This structural model governs how investigators collect, analyze, and present digital evidence. Mastering this specific framework is the definitive factor that separates a software technician from a trusted forensic professional. The first essential pillar is fundamental ethical principles, the moral baseline guiding an investigator. At its core is integrity. If a tool partially recovers a file, the examiner must document those limitations honestly, rather than claiming full certainty. This requires strict objectivity. An investigator's sole duty is to follow the evidence, documenting both suspicious behavior and alternative explanations fairly. Objectivity relies heavily on competence. An examiner must operate strictly within the boundaries of their actual technical training. For instance, an investigator attempting memory forensics, the analysis of volatile data stored in a computer's RAM, without proper training, violates this rule. Making strong claims about volatile memory without the expertise to support them is an ethical failure. Rounding out this pillar are confidentiality, which protects sensitive data from unauthorized disclosure, and proportionality, which ensures the scale of the investigation remains appropriate to the specific case. Without these fundamental principles acting as a baseline, no amount of technical data can be considered trustworthy by a court or institution. The second pillar is legal compliance, the mandate to operate within authorized boundaries, like a search warrant or policy. This illustrates a critical distinction. An action can fall within lawful authority, yet still fail to be ethically justified. The practical application of navigating this intersection is known as scope limitation. Consider a corporate environment where an investigator is authorized to analyze a company laptop to locate a specific stolen file. The authority to search the local machine for that file does not grant permission to explore the user's unrelated personal cloud accounts. Warning tone. Exceeding this authorized scope violates procedural fairness. In legal settings, evidence obtained through unauthorized exploration is ruled inadmissible. Ethical investigators self-impose boundaries to protect the integrity of the case, refusing to bypass limits even when their tools allow them to do so. The third pillar focuses on privacy, protecting the human beings behind the datasets. Because digital devices contain intimate records of human life, investigators must guard against overcollection. A single seized device often holds information belonging to innocent third parties, data from family members, and unrelated professional contacts. Investigators combat overcollection using the operational mechanisms of necessity and minimization. These rules require examiners to build procedural filters, blocking irrelevant personal material from entering the formal investigation. We can apply this to an academic scenario involving a university student's laptop being investigated for unauthorized exam access. In this case, necessary data points are limited to file access logs, browser downloads, and USB history. The examiner must actively ignore entirely irrelevant data on the same machine, like family photos or medical records. Precise surgical analysis isolates specific evidence while minimizing collateral damage to innocent parties. The final two interconnected pillars govern daily professional operations: professional conduct and conflict of interest. Professional conduct is the practical manifestation of ethics, requiring meticulous documentation. This includes a strict duty to avoid sensationalism, distinguishing facts from interpretation, and removing dramatic language from formal reporting. Maintaining a strict chain of custody, validating tool outputs, and engaging in continuous learning are core professional obligations. Closely tied to professional conduct is managing conflict of interest. This occurs when personal, financial, or institutional pressures threaten the investigator's neutrality. Digital forensics depends heavily on credibility. The mere appearance of bias destroys trust in the findings as effectively as actual proven misconduct. Take the scenario of a university staff member accused of an exam leak. If the assigned forensic examiner is a close departmental colleague of the suspect, an institutional conflict exists. Even if the examiner intends to be perfectly fair, analyzing a colleague's device creates an unacceptable appearance of partiality. When this occurs, investigators rely on 3 ethical remedies: formally disclosing the relationship early, requesting independent oversight, or completely recusing themselves. Vigorously managing these professional limits protects the ultimate credibility of the entire forensic process. This fully assembled 5-pillar framework shows how individual concepts interlock to securely support the evidence. Fundamental principles set the foundation. Legal compliance ensures procedural validity. Privacy constraints protect individuals, and professional conduct alongside conflict management secure the daily execution. By utilizing this model, investigators solve the initial paradox. Extraordinary technical capability remains permanently subordinate to a rigid ethical structure. An investigation that breaks any one of these pillars will inevitably collapse under legal, academic, or institutional scrutiny. Digital forensics integrates technical skill with the professional responsibility to uphold truth, fairness, and justice.